It's making clothes. It's kind of like building a house. It's like architecture in the sense that you have these measurements that you have taken from yourself or from your client, and there is this design that you are trying to create based on those measurements. So the first thing to get the foundation right. What's up, Kadivas, and welcome back to another video. This is going to be a Q&A, and I think about a week and a half ago I left a post in the community tab for you guys to ask me your questions, and these questions go from motherhood, fashion, design, business, fitting, sewing. So I'm going to be answering all those questions in this video. If there's any question that you would like me to answer and you didn't get a chance to leave in the community tab post, please drop it in the comment section down below, and I'll possibly answer as a comment or make a dedicated video in the future. Quick outfit check, because I know somebody's about to ask. The dress I'm wearing is from Selina's Robe. I think that's what her brand is called. Black owned, woman owned brand. I'm going to link it down below. The wig is from Official Zimmer. It's a Nigerian owned brand, and I love their wigs. It's actually a braid wig. It's just insane how well made they are. Let's jump straight into these questions. No particular order. Question is from Shaking Fabrics, and the question says, I would like to learn how to draft and sew corsets. Have you already covered this topic? Thanks. I've actually made a few different corset styles. I have made a straight neckline. I have made the one that the cups are separate from the bodies. I have made the one where the body is kind of like pointy at the hem. I've done a few different corset styles. I've done the one with the zip at the back, with lace up at the back, with modesty panel. I have done at least 3 to 4 different corset styles on the channel, so I'm going to link them on the screen and then in the video comment section down as well. I also have a corset PDF pattern on the store, so if you want to get a corset pattern that has 2 necklines, straight and sweetheart, and it goes from a UK 4 to 20, I believe that's the measurement range, you can grab that. It's PDF printable. There's not a lot of pages because it's a corset, so you can buy that from the comfort of your home wherever you are in the world. Print it out, assemble it, and you have your corset pattern already made. Next up is from Fab and Good Vibes 1589, and it says, hi, I'm from the United States and I want to launch my clothing upcycling line. What would you suggest I start off with to sell? Thank you. What would I say? I mean, I think you need to figure out who your target market or your target audience is. I always bang on about this, but let me explain why. If you don't know who you are selling to, there are a lot of things in the design process, in your packaging process, in your marketing process that you will not really be able to fine tune if you don't know who your target audience is. Are you targeting people who are eco-conscious, fashion designers, fashion student, moms? Who is your target audience? Where are they based? What's their income bracket? So that helps you when you're pricing your products as well. Also, do you want to sell online or do you want to have a physical space? And then another thing to think about is, are you going to be doing a pieces pay to order, or are you going to release like a limited range of products that once you make and sell, that's it? So find out who your target audience is really, really important. I cannot bang on this enough. I also have an ebook covering this topic of how to find paying customers. I'm going to link it down, because in that book I cover the topic of finding your target audience, marketing, branding, and all that good stuff. Even if it's not something you stick to, try and just decide on if you want to be made to order strictly, or if you're going to have pieces ready to buy off the shelf. I say start to those 2 things, and then as you do those 2 things, there are other things that you will now realize, okay, I need to figure out what kind of packaging I need. I need to figure out if I'm going to have my shop on Shopify or Etsy. There are all those things that you can now really distill and decide on as you go on from those 2 main standpoints. Now, going into motherhood, first question here is from Lade Bright, and the person says, how do you juggle both motherhood and career? I don't think I've quite, I won't even lie, I don't think I've quite figured out a way to balance them both. There are days when I'm just more focused on my child, and the other days where, like days like today, I wake up a little bit earlier and I'm able to film, or I'm able to edit, or I'm able to like do a voiceover. Basically, I'm able to do some kind of work. So some days are kind of like one takes over the other. I just take it each day as it comes. Oh, this kata will not be the bane of my life. I just take it each day as it comes, because I try not to put the pressure on myself. I'm just one human being. Prior to having a child, I was already a very hyper functioning person. So becoming a mom has just I've just got even more into the realm of being always on things. Has she eating? Does she need nappies? Like that's go 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 go. I've always been like that. So I don't want to go into a place of feeling anxious because, oh, I don't think I'm doing enough or I'm not a good mom. No, I don't want to go into that headspace. So I take it one day at a time. I pray to God every day to give me the wisdom to balance out both sides because I want to be there for my child. I want to be present. But at the same time, I want to continue building Kim Dave. I want to keep making content and creating stuff because creating makes me fulfilled and it becomes this not escape in a sense, it becomes this thing that I'm able to do that is part of my identity as a woman, as a person, being a designer. So I want to be able to have both sides of that's of my life. So being a mom, I mean like a business owner, I want to keep having them thriving and growing, but some days are different than others. So it really depends. That's how I'm able to balance it out at the moment. I'll also say having a partner who is very supportive is very, very helpful because there are moments when I'm like, okay, I just need to do a voiceover. Can you watch? Can you watch baby for a while? Or I'm going to grab fabrics. Can you watch her for a while? Like having a partner who understands that I still have this business running and I still have this thing that I'm doing is really important because it just allows me those moments to actually create or to go out or to work or to attend events. So support system is really, really important. The third thing is God. Honestly, like my go-to verse every day is I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Moments when I feel exhausted, when I'm about to break down from just being overwhelmed, I just say that verse to myself and it just acts like a soothing balm that really calms me and reminds me that I'm only human, there's only so much I can do, but the grace of God will give me the strength to do all these other responsibilities that are expected of me, like being a mom. So, God's support and more take it one day at a time, but that's basically where I from Vuyukazi.madikazi, and the question goes like this: I would like to do clothes for other people, but I fail to transfer the measurements to the design. But I am able to do it when I'm making clothes for myself. Stuff come out big or small on the shoulders. What is it that I'm doing wrong? So I know with making clothes, it's kind of like building a house. It's like architecture in the sense that you have these measurements that you have taken from yourself or from your client, and there is this design that you are trying to create based on those measurements. So the first thing to get the foundation right is to make sure you're measuring the different parts correctly. So I'm going to link a video that I did a few years ago on how to take different body measurements. It was mostly for like upper and maybe some lower or mid-region measurements, but please ensure that you're taking accurate measurements. You're including ease in there as well. If you're someone who prefers to work with non-stretchy fabrics, if you're going to be using stretchy fabric, remember to take out negative ease from your measurements as you're cutting onto fabric. The second thing would be to, if you can, make a sample. I know they waste time, I know they waste fabric in some people's minds, but it will just save you a lot of headache and it takes out the guessing game because with a sample you are able to make the pattern and then make this kind of like cheap prototype, and from doing that you'll be able to see if your measurements are correct, if there's anything you want to change before you go ahead and make that design in the main material for yourself or for your client. The next question is from mmbags2538, and this person is asking, I want to know about platforms I can use to market my products. Social media is my go-to. I get most of my leads from Instagram and YouTube, and when I mean leads, it's basically where people coming from onto my shop. So social media is basically like a free thing that if you take your time and understand who you are trying to reach, you can really maximize using Instagram or Pinterest or TikTok or YouTube, any of these platforms. Just pick two. You don't even need to do all of them, just pick like two and start from there. Something else that I really always recommend people to do is to build an email list. If you have a website, add that bar that allows people to leave their email. If they're first time buyer, they'll get a discount. That encourages them to leave their email addresses. And once you have that email list, you're able to reach out to the people on that list directly. So that is like your data as a business. So if Instagram crashes tomorrow, if WhatsApp goes AWOL, you have that email list to reach your target audience. Carolina KV is asking if you could make if I could make a video on how to draft a pattern using body measurements for a fitted wool coat, I would be extremely happy. I have seen the Michelle Obama coat, which is very beautiful, but how about a more closed coat with a cowl neck maybe? Greetings from Finland, waiting for the freezing of the summer. Love your channel. Thank you so much, Carolina. I actually don't think I've done a fitted coat, and that's just because I'm biased towards more loose coat, because I like to layer pieces like a jumper or a thermal underneath my coat, so I like that to be a little bit loose. So the outerwear I have done on my channel, I'm actually trying to think back now, the the gingham print, the Michelle Obama one, the Ankara one, all of them, they've been on the looser side. So I'll actually keep your request in mind for the future. I would just say with tutorials, because of where I am in life right now, I may not be able to make tutorials as often as I would love to, because it takes me like 2 to 3 weeks to actually make a tutorial now, from filming, editing, getting the pictures, getting the thumbnail, everything. It just takes me a little bit longer. So please bear with me if the tutorials are not as forthcoming as they normally would, until I get to the point where Maria is a little bit more, she's able to play more independently. Maybe that'll give me more time, but until then, let's just enjoy what Kim Dave has to offer, whether that is small quick tutorials or sit down videos like this. I'll most likely keep creating content on the channel. The next one is from Kai Air, and it says, no questions on motherhood. Please kindly share the tutorial on the lovely dress you are wearing. Thanks. In this post, for this post, I put up a picture where I was wearing a pink wrap dress with like a puffy sleeve. I think I have done a tutorial on the channel. I think I have. I've definitely done a puffy sleeve. I've done a wrap dress, or like a wrap top. That dress is a product of a PDF pattern that I launched, I think it was Christmas of 2023. So if you want to try that out for yourself, I'm going to link the pattern down below. That's where that dress came from. The next one is from What Girl 6957. This person says, I have questions. Is it true that motherhood gives you a radiant glow and that makes you extremely happy? Does Maria have her dad wrapped around her little finger? So that's like 3 questions. If motherhood gives you a radiant glow, yes. This is a child that I prayed for, I fasted for, I wanted. Maria is a child that God blessed us with after 2 miscarriages. So best believe when I say we are very, very happy to have her. So I think that's where the radiant glow and the happiness comes from, is having this child that is an extension of you. It's just crazy to think that that child actually came out from me. Like, I'm somebody's mother. Woo! Anyways, so I think that's where the joy comes from. The joy also comes from the honor of just becoming a mom, the fact that I have the opportunity and privilege to love someone unconditionally, to nurture them, to teach them, to show them like all of the colors, the prints, like all these things that are special to me, but also to guide them in the way to find things that they like themselves. That honor is something that I'm really, really thankful for, and I hope I never take for granted, no matter where life takes me. Don't get me wrong, it is hard. Oh my gosh! Like last night, for example, she had a stuffy nose. It's the first time she's experiencing that. So she cried for most of the night. She was so unsettled. She was like, if you try to put her down, she would start to cry. She couldn't feed because of her nose. So there are moments like that when I just feel really, really overwhelmed, exhausted, tired. Like, don't be fooled by this makeup. If I remove this, if I remove this makeup, if I remove this concealer, the eye rings I have are not, they are not here to play. So it's a very difficult job. It's very tasking on the mind. It's tasking on your relationship with your partner as well, because this child comes and takes priority. So it's figuring out how to navigate, this new exciting thing in your life, but also not forgetting and sidelining the relationships that already exist before the child came. So it comes with its beautiful moments, but it can be very, very tough. But all in all, I'm very, very thankful. The last part of that question was if Maria has a dad wrapped around the finger. Yes, George is such a girl dad, and there are just moments when I look at the two of them and I'm like, wow, it just makes me smile that she's going to have such an amazing male figure to grow up and just recognize her as what a man should be. that actually makes me very, very happy, because that's something that not everyone gets, that she can think back on her childhood and remember that my dad was actually always there for me. He played with me, he took me out, he cared for me, he rocked me to sleep on nights that I felt unwell. Her outpouring of love for Maria that my husband has is, I'm just very, very thankful for it. And this person is asking, what do you enjoy most about being a mom? Mm, I say there are moments when she looks at me like eye to eye and she smiles. Like, yes, she's 4 months old, and yes, maybe she does not fully understand the world and all it has to offer yet, but moments when Maria just looks eye to eye with me and she smiles. Oh, it's like it melts away all of the tiredness I was feeling prior to that moment. It melts away any weird feelings. It's like she smiles, and when she smiles, her face lights up, and she proper smiles ear to ear. She's such a happy child when she's like when there's nothing making her unsettled. She's such a happy child. So her smile, just seeing her smile, and like knowing that she's smiling at her mom. Maybe she doesn't fully know it yet, but that moment I honestly think is the most priceless thing to me right now. I don't think I've ever experienced anything like that in my life. I don't think anything will honestly top that, because thinking that this is a child that was inside my belly for 9 months, now came out, she's now growing up, she's learning how to roll, how to sit, how to crawl, basically learning how to be a human being. And then she recognizes me as mom when she smiles. Maybe she doesn't know, but that smile, Sha, oh, it's just, honestly, like, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever experienced in this lifetime. So those are all of the questions that I got under that post. If there are any questions you want me to answer, maybe something in fashion business, life, motherhood, sewing hacks, and all that good stuff, please leave a comment down below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible, or possibly make a dedicated video for that topic in the future. Thank you so much for watching this one. I hope you enjoyed it. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it entertaining, inspiring, informative. And until my next one, have a good morning, afternoon, and evening wherever you are. Bye.